welcome back, and just kind of loop you into what this past year has looked like for my foot. So a lot of you have been asking about update on where things are with my foot. Unfortunately, it's pretty much been the same. The surgeon has pretty much stated as of February, October last year that there was nothing that he could do at this point except for go back in and slice the foot back open and kind of readjust. He felt like that the metatarsal and tarsal bone were too close together. We're like this, and then when I tried to bend my toe, as you would imagine, this is me trying to walk, right? You would expect that the metatarsal bone flex like this. They're too close together to flex. So they need to be a little bit further apart to be able to, so that this joint can flex and press into it. And they're too close together, so they're pretty much pinching each other. They try to flex and they pinch each other. So he feels like he needs to go back and separate those and then shave the top of this bone, the metatarsal bone, down so that it can smoothly glide against the other bone. So there's not anything I can do. My joint is pretty much stuck where it is. I can do lunges, but the way they look is pretty much balancing on the pointer finger of my toe and going down into a lunge. It's not like your toe is planted and you're flexing into that lunge the way that your toes should do, the same way your fingers do, like this. It's more so my foot plants and everything's flexing off of the top of that toe, like this. So there's no flexing here. It's the toe touches down and it can't bend. So everything is flexing on the top of that toe. So it's very uncomfortable. It's not a good bending motion. It's not good. Everything's aligned, but it has no function. It's exactly the opposite of what I wanted. I would have been fine with mal-aligned and function, but what's happened is that I have aligned and no function. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to have him redo the surgery, if I'm going to have someone else redo the surgery, if I'm going to have the surgery redone at all. I really don't know at this point. The way that they market it, it definitely seems like a great surgery. You're back on your feet sooner. You're back to walking, running, everything sooner. And that's what got me into this, because I needed that for my profession, for my personal fitness. And I got that, but I got it with stipulations. I would definitely tell someone to get the surgery. I would not tell them not to get their surgery. I feel like online, I haven't seen very many cases like mine. I'm not sure why my case happened. He said that, it may have been a situation where he overestimated, brought it in closer than what it needed to be. Allowed the metatarsal bone to be higher than what it needed to be, so that, what ended up happening was they were here and it still bumped in, even if it was further apart, that this bone still wasn't far enough apart to where when it started to bend that it wouldn't butt into this bone. But that's what it feels like, because I literally cannot bend the bone. I'm gonna put a couple clips in, and the bone literally does not bend. I can't do anything more for it. I've done my physical therapy. I've done every exercise they prescribed, and it doesn't, move. And when I went back to a surgeon and he said that he felt like it was like a bone on bone issue, that made sense, because I've looked at people's videos on here and everyone is able to move their joint freely. They're able to curl, they're able to extend, and I can do that with a limited range of motion. And I wouldn't say that's just what it is for the surgery. For however he decided to fix my toe, that's my outcome. It's not the outcome for the surgery as a whole. I feel like I'm definitely in the 10% of people who, get complications. It's weird because I have never had any complications. I had a labrum tear, rotator cuff tear on my right shoulder, and I have had zero issues with that whatsoever. And I had it 2 weeks after I had the bunion correction surgery. In the pictures, the picture of the foot is fine, but the function of it is not there. And what I wanted was the function of the foot. I wanted to be able to bend and flex the toe. I wanted to be able to curl the toe. I wanted the toe to be able to move how it was supposed to move, and I don't have that right now, and I'm frustrated about it. But I don't plan this year to have the surgery to fix it. As for anyone who's looking into having the surgery, I would say definitely go ahead and have it. Talk to your surgeon about the outcomes of what if something goes wrong. What if the toe doesn't bend like it's supposed to? What if it doesn't look the way it's supposed to? Have those conversations with their surgeon, but I wouldn't say don't have it. And I feel like based on my research, for the majority of people who have had it, they've had successful outcomes. So I wouldn't say take my surgery and just run with it. Have backups in mind. I have like 2 backups that I've spoken to that haven't really given me what I needed. They more so talked about, oh, well, here's what I would have done if I did it. I would, and like I would have taken all the hardware out and things like that. And I'm just like, I don't really know if that's like what's best, but find someone who this is their specialty, that's what they focus on. They're gonna be the most knowledgeable about what other things are done within this type of surgery. So if I do have the surgery done again, which I feel like I may have done next year, year after, I really don't know. I don't know. Maybe I should have had it done this year. I'm not sure. I almost feel like I may have had it done by the same surgeon again, even though he fucked up the first time, because he did it the first time. He knows what he did, how he did it. He knows why he did it. Another surgeon is not going to know those same details. Another surgeon is going to go in and say, here's how I would have done it if it were me. And they're going to take a whole different assessment of your surgery. And you're coming out of another surgery with another surgeon, and you're getting a whole different assessment, and they're going to take it their whole different way. So you have the previous surgeon's issues compounded upon the current surgeon's issues, or maladaptations, things like that. So I almost feel like it may be better to have the original surgeon do it twice, because you know that they know what they're doing. You know that they're going to go back in, know exactly how that incision looked, know exactly what they did. But I just kind of wanted to loop you guys into how I'm doing with mine. I feel like a lot of people on here have had great results based off of it, and I haven't. Not based on the surgery, that may be based on the surgeon, that may be based on my surgical procedure and my bone structure and anatomy. I do think it's worth checking out. I did enjoy getting back on my feet as soon as possible. I did enjoy being able to walk, move, and I don't have significant pain on a day-to-day basis. I more so just have pain with anything that causes that joint to flex, running, jumping, lunges, things like that, squats, any sort of overhead movement, things like that. I don't have any issues with. It's really just on a case-by-case basis. I would never tell someone, oh, don't have it done because I had a partially negative outcome from it. It's definitely still beneficial. You just need to make sure that your surgeon is, coherent into all of your anatomical, structures, and that they are doing the right thing for you. I'm not saying my surgeon did the wrong thing for me, but things didn't heal properly. For anyone who's thinking about having it, I would say go for it. You definitely want to get that bone corrected back in the right place, because you won't have good movement if that bone is not in the right place. And just, communicate with your surgeon and do what you need to do. I'll be back with another update whenever I figure out what the hell I'm going to do.